Yeah, I got pins.
Okay, this, Jackie Frey will be speaking here in just a few minutes, but before she comes in, a couple of things. Next month is elections. And I talked to all the guys that are on the board at this time, and the majority of them are willing to continue on if you guys want to keep them on. I think John says he would like to step back. And so we are definitely in the mood and open for vice president. And I would like to see somebody take the president position, because I think I've been president for 2 years. I know, I'm excellent, fabulous and all that, but it's time to share the blessing. So if somebody would like to run for the president, that's great. I'm more than willing to give up the microphone.
Anybody need a nominee? I'll nominate you.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next month.
Oh, I know, can't we like nominate?
Too early. We'll do next. So anyway, so come next month, come for sure, because we need your vote. You gotta be here in order to vote. Please show up, but think about it. And some of you guys that's not held a position in the board before, be open to do it. It's really not that hard, nor is it very much time consuming. We've already, the hard part, which is getting the May spring banquet, we've already set that up. And so that's ready to go. We'll be doing that, but an announcement, we'll be doing that May 16th. That's a Friday night at the barn again. Look, how many of you went to the barn last year? So everybody loved them. Everybody that went said it was fabulous. We're going to do something different this year. We're going to make sure that everything's paid ahead of time. I had about 8 to 10 folks that signed up and didn't come and didn't pay, and so the club had to pay for their meal. And so this year we're going to register and get the pay first. And I think it's still going to only be $25 if we're lucky. And last year what they did was more or less, instead of saying, I want a steak, or I want a salmon, or I want a pork chop, you just paid, and they had steak, salmon, and pork chop, and you got to pick whichever one you wanted, or you could come back for seconds and get something else. So it was really, really nice. So we're looking forward to doing that again if I can keep the price down again. So we already have that set up. So whoever the president is won't have to start from scratch for that. So that would be a good thing to do. That would be a good thing to do. See this. Field days coming up. You want to go ahead and share a little bit about that?
Okay, field day, last weekend of June. I forget the date. Kelly, do you have it?
I think 28th and 9th.
28th, 29th. I have a list of names of people who want to be on the field day committee. I had been meaning to put together a field day committee meeting. I got sick, so I didn't do anything. So I would like to do a field day meeting either later this week or next week, and start getting going on that. Couple of things I would like to have if we're gonna do it at my place again. I'd like to get a work day organized pretty soon. I want to assemble and hang the tri-bander with the 40-meter element and get that dialed in well before field day so we could test. QSO party here, we had some mechanical issues with the radios and the computers, so I'm working on that now. Hope to have that worked out in a week or so, maybe longer, who knows. But I want to get the Yagi done. We need to figure out, are we going to have it there, or do we want to have it at a public space? One of the things I was thinking about, and we would have to kind of get with the VE team, is do we want to have VE testing at field day? I'll offer that, and then you get the new people on the air right away on GOTA. If we do it at my place, camping is absolutely available. We could probably easily do 10 campsites. And then we'll talk about all the other stuff and do that. And that's all I got. So, any questions about field day? What it is, John?
I guess when you decide what day you wanna try and get together on that antenna,
Okay.
put it out here on the reflector. or
Oh,
something.
yeah, I can put it out on the reflector. I'd like to do that sooner than later.
Yeah,
I've
Make
helped.
sure it's snowing that day. It'll work
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, exactly. That's
40, minimum 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
minimum 45 because that works best for tilting over that tower.
40 meter, 40 mile an hour, it all makes sense.
40, yep.
Oh, there it is.
Not 80,
There it is.
huh?
For those of you that are on the field day committee, would everybody be good to do a meeting this week? Yes, no,
Morning.
next week?
Next week, yeah.
When are you thinking, what time?
Next week.
Probably in the early evening, or we could actually do it on Zoom if people have other conflicts.
Do it in person.
In person?
Where you wanna
Okay.
do it at, so.
I'll have to think of a place.
Okay. Your shop might be good there.
Airport.
Yeah, I mean, we could go to the airport, have a quick dinner or something at the airport.
We probably use the room, they have a room there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
do.
have that
A small room,
Yeah.
Use it for
small group, yeah. Okay,
Everyone pick a night. And I'll set it up with Heidi.
okay. You guys wanna do it next week?
Next week would be better.
Next week would be better.
How about just
Any next
Thursday?
Wednesday.
Let's say
It's good.
Wednesday night? You wanna do Wednesday?
Now, wait a minute, they close at 7.
Oh,
Hey, Bob, why don't you just do it as the Thursday lunch meetup? It's already there.
Get everyone
Well-
lunch.
people that are working won't be able to make it. So. I don't know, we could go to Denny's or Black Bear or do anything, it's a small enough group right now.
So how
So,
many total we have?
okay,
How many total do we have?
we have 10 people so far. And then everybody else, I'll put it out on the reflector, if you want to attend. You can attend, you could give us your input. I'm looking for ideas that people want to do for field day to attract more people. That's all I got.
Knife throwing or something like that.
Yeah.
Axe throwing.
Dancing women.
Yeah.
Everybody was thinking.
We got polls.
Well, one of our members, but down at the corner, Mike, raise your hand, Mike. Right here. Mike has having some issues with antenna and radio, and he's not been able to get it going. So if there's somebody that would spend a little time, go over his house, look at his stuff and see if he can find out what's wrong, he would really much appreciate it. He's in Twin Falls here.
I'm in Twin Falls, I could get a lesson on how not to get on the air.
Okay, Jim, right over here, you see him?
Is that Jim?
Yeah,
Oh, Jim over here with the Air Force here.
right, yeah, with the airport. And when, afterwards, get a hold of him and set it up. And the guy next to him, what's your name?
Glenn.
Dwayne?
Glenn.
Glenn, I'm sorry. My hearing aids are on, so, when afterwards, get a hold of Kelly here. He's got some questions. He's going to take the test on Saturday, but he's expired, but he's expired a couple of years. I don't know, can he redo that?
Is it over 2 years? That you're expired? It is. It might be. I still have an FRN number listed under my name. Yeah, if it's over 2 years, you gotta take the test to get it. If it's under 2 years, you can take an office. Oh, what's that? Tech, and if you pass that, then we send in your proof that you used to have a general. Then, I believe you can get your general back, but you do have to pass the technician.
Okay, so he's got an extra license is what he has.
Yeah, but most will be able to go with the general. You'll have to take your extra. If you want it. Yeah, I went through the 2 year grace period and that expired. Okay, so you're gonna have to take the general again.
The general or the technician, and then get the.
You'll have to take the technician, and then if you pass that, you can take a general.
Oh.
If you pass that, you can draw your extra too. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So if you have any more questions on it, just talk to him.
The FR number is still good? Yeah.
They're gonna bury you dead.
The other thing is on Tuesday nights, I don't know how many of you know this, but on Tuesday nights, we have a net that we do. And it's on 14676, and it's every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And we check in, and afterwards, we have what we call a round table. Lee started that, so after the radio net is done, we stick around and we chit chat a little bit. I usually have questions that I ask, throw it out to the guys that are there, and we all take turns chatting and sharing and things like that. It's a lot of fun. It keeps us on the radio, gives us opportunity to communicate. So I'm looking for additional net guys that would like to do the net. So right now we have everything covered, but we sometimes need a backup. Sometimes people get tired of doing it after 5, 6, 7 years. LEW here has been doing it for, I don't know how long.
Well, 2 or 3 years maybe.
Yeah, so you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. And it gives you an opportunity to do the net. We got a roster, so, we go through the roster, and most of the guys that check in are on the roster. Every once in a while you get somebody that's not, and you gotta put them in, so, but it's not difficult. Before I got involved in it, I was concerned because of my hearing. I don't hear as well, so I don't pick up call signs real well, but because of the roster, it was easy. So anybody interested in doing that, Paul jumped in doing it here a while back when he took over for Bob up in Fairfield, right?
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job, excellent job. So I really appreciate him jumping in there. And John's been doing it too for a while, so we appreciate John, but he was indicating he might like to step back a little bit on that, right?
Yeah, I was vice president. I'm gonna get away from that too. Me and my wife plan on being gone a little bit this summer. So instead of looking for somebody, I'll just go ahead and maybe we can find somebody.
So if there's somebody, and we'll, really the best way to learn to do it is just go on the net and listen to what we're doing, how we're doing it and everything, and I'll pass you all the information, send you the roster and the setup to do it, and then listen to us to do it, and then jump in and do it. And the guys are all good. Nobody, if you mess up a little bit, nobody gets on your case. So that's good. We have one more talk, QSO party. Kelly?
You know what? I don't have all that much. So I'll do it next time, and let's go ahead and
Okay.
check.
Okay, so I had asked, most of you probably know Jackie. She's been with us several times, or maybe more than that, since I've been here. But she's the, I'll let her tell you all that. She's involved with the Aries races, which we are involved in. So it's all yours, ma'am.
Okay,
Thanks for coming.
well, you're very welcome. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jackie Frey. I'm the emergency manager for Twin Falls County. If this is Dr. Humphrey, you delivered my second daughter. Anyway. And was a wonderful, God bless you. So the reason that I'm here is to, I guess, again, address how much of a resource you are for my department during any kind of an incident or disaster in the county. The fact that you guys are doing the IDs, you are having a background check. And for those that want to support or participate in any exercises or training, I think that's pretty critical. I think that's an important part. I am, and I will say that we're at a place where, and you don't want to knock on wood here, but we don't have catastrophic issues that happen monthly. But yet I am encouraged that you're training every Tuesday. I'm encouraged that you do the race or you're at the fair. Thank you, Jeremy, and for all of you. And that you're visible and that you're wanting to bring people in, because the redundancy for communications is critical. And I think it's absolutely a priority. Twin Falls County took you on. I've been in this position a long time. And my commissioners at that time wanted to see an agreement with Grant Lobes and with each of you for your club. Not that each of you signed it, but your club did. The Races Aries, and Terry Fletcher was a huge part of that. Now, how it works now is that you will get an ID card, and you will have, the background check. We just talked, Jeremy and I just talked to Scott Bishop from the Sheriff's Department. We don't see a reason for you to have the, background check. If you're recertifying, initially, yes, you have to have it, correct, Jeremy? And I will tell you this is through the Sheriff's Department, so unfortunately, if your name comes up and they have, something's changed and unfortunately you have broken the law, I hate to say it like this, they're gonna flag you anyway. But the reason it's set for Twin Falls County, and I know there are some gentlemen in here from Jerome, is because of workman's comp liability. When you're called out by my department to respond during an event, then under Twin Falls County, you'll be responding to a Twin Falls County event. Now, if your club chooses to respond or is called out by another county, that has nothing to do with me. The other part of this is that years ago, I was able to gift you a trailer. And I have since been able to continue to get you equipment or do things for your club because again, I believe in your dedication and in you, each of you being an expertise in what you do. So I'm not here to bribe you. You don't owe me anything. I was asked to speak to you because I really think that you guys are an incredible resource. I have been meeting with the new emergency manager from Jerome County. I also I will tell you, have spoken to their commissioners and spoke about what I believe you are, which is an incredible asset. What my goal has always been is to be able to do mutual aid or to be able to use the amateur radio groups from any county so that we can respond. Now, and for me, this is not a control issue. From the day that I started this job, I have believed in what you do. Now, how I've had to play with you was not under my control. It was under the elected officials. I'm on my 15th. And I will tell you, it was under the direction of Grant. So, you know, really, I'm open for any questions. I don't know if Terry covered everything, you know, what exactly you want me to address tonight.
Help them to understand what we do.
So what you do is, as an incident, first of all, as an emergency manager, I'm at the discretion of incident command. First on the scene is usually law enforcement or fire. If the event is large enough and they need to coordinate resources, they contact the county. They contact the county EM. Thank you. And then it's my responsibility to work with those agencies, such as our churches, such as Salvation Army, Southern Baptist Disaster Relief, Red Cross, any of the agencies. I've worked with ITD, I've worked with the canal companies, our highway districts if we needed equipment. But it's really my role to help coordinate resources, to ensure life safety, and to also work with the first responders so that they can maintain that level of response that their expertise is in. And so where you come in is your redundant communication. You guys have the ability of doing what many cannot. And during any kind of incident or disaster, the first thing you see are problems with communication. And so you guys give us that extra resource that can be set up or established with our law enforcement, fire, and you can set up lines of communication. If I open up a staging area or a joint information center with our public information officers, and we need to have someone from these areas there to be able to help share that information with the health department or with another facility, that's your role. And so I also want to share, I have no desire to micromanage you or put rules on you. I have to believe that what you're doing is what you do. And I don't have a call sign, guys. I don't have a radio. It's not because I'm lazy. It's because things are just a little overwhelming for me. And I want to trust that you know what you're doing. So I really want you to know that for Twin Falls County, for myself, first I want to thank you. And I also want to tell you that you are appreciated. That's one of the reasons I fought so hard to get you resources and funding. And you're also parking. And I will tell you, I fought diligently on your trailer being parked with the Sheriff's Department for free. Now, if you didn't know that, you do know that, and I'm gonna tell you, I've gotten called on the carpet a number of times about, and have had to fight to keep it free. So, you know, I want you to know, I don't believe anything is changing, that Jack Johnson is now our sheriff. I don't believe there should be any changes at all. But, you know, if anyone has a problem or a question or is frustrated with what you don't feel I'm doing or how I'm managing, I would ask you to please talk to me. Because I would like to just see one thing. This isn't about me, you guys. This is about what you offer our citizens to ensure life safety.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
A couple years ago, when I got my ID card, it had an expiration date on it,
Yes.
and that is passed. Do I need to reapply?
Okay, so yes, you need to reapply. I don't believe you'll need the background check since you already checked. Now, Jeremy.
I've had enough, and then I think I'm clear.
Okay, so Jeremy and I talked about this because there are at least 7 or so of you that really need to have that background check done. And I know, and it has been a bone of contention for the few that are from outside of Twin Falls County. But what I will tell you is you're still a support to this team. If you guys go to another community and you guys are helping support an event, what this really means is for Twin Falls County, if I have a severe event, I have a flooding event, I have, you know, whatever, those that are in Twin Falls County that are underneath that ID card for Twin and have had the background check would be those that we would use. Okay, but what my hope is if Jerome will get this thing going, what we have splitting us is a canyon, and we're seeing more and more wild land fires. We're seeing things that happen, and we need to be working as a team. We don't need to see this split. And so that's what I'm trying to do. That's, in all honesty, what I've tried to do. And yes, I've been here a very long time, 28 years, and I love this job and I believe in this job. But there's always going to be hurdles, you guys. And every time we get a new commissioner or someone who has a different mindset, I have diligently fought this. And because I'm sorry, but I don't know what people do when you can't talk to each other. And we have enough conflict and some issues that have gone on for years with we have a separate city dispatch and CERCOM. Okay, so you guys, if we can fill that and put a little bit of a consistency here, that if something happens, we know that there's still this redundancy that can be used during an event. Because I don't care if it's life or it's an exercise, our communication is the first thing that doesn't work. Yes, sir.
So what is the most frequent event that we have around Twin Falls? Is it fire?
So actually, the severe weather is our number one. Okay, so a lot of people, and I learn every day. In 17, we had some incredible fires up at Magic down in the Rock Creek area. We had issues going on, and I won't lie to you, I was right on them. I mean, working with them, working with the Forest Service, working with BLM, working with the strike team that came in, working with the rural fire departments, Rock Creek Fire, and then was a little bit shocked when I found out that we really have very little forest land in our county. Okay, so there was a lot of education based here, which is federal funded, okay? And there's a lot of changes right now, and I'm not gonna talk anywhere near that, but I'm just gonna say, when we have an event, regardless of the size, because of where we are located, even in Canyon Ridge High School, we run into redundancy or with communication issues. So I think that really speaks on why we need you.
So one more question. How does FEMA get involved in this? Are they involved out here in Idaho and some of this stuff?
You know what? FEMA's only involved if we have a disaster that becomes state declared and we need to have federal resources. And they need to be brought in for cost recovery. We need the funding and this kind of thing. I think all of you are watching TV. We're seeing that Trump feels strongly that there's a possibility that FEMA is no longer and that the federal funding would come into a state that has a disaster. Now, and I'm not going to go my spill on this either, you guys, because The reality of it is, every single time I get a new president, there is a shift in FEMA. And I'm sorry, it's a true story. It's just the way it works. Projects that are priority change. We have seen nationally with our catastrophic issues, hurricanes, and with the tornadoes, different areas are hit consistently. They're rebuilding in the same spots. We're seeing catastrophic issues, and we're not seeing changes with plan and zoning, permitting, any of these things. And then the money that's spent on these national disasters is astronomical, astronomical. So when you see a state of Idaho that's 4.3, 4.4 million, realistically, our entire state fits in one suburb elsewhere. And we have a lot of Forest Service land. We have a lot of protected land. But when we have something happen, it becomes catastrophic to us because we don't have the resources. We don't have that funding mechanism to sustain it. The quagga mussel costs 3.2 million. I tell people that and they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And we're on our second kill for it, second treatment, now going on a third treatment. And so it's to the point now where those, whether we have catastrophic funds in the state of Idaho, those funds are being depleted, they're being used. And so you could look at this FEMA move, it's a little, for Idaho, where does that leave us? If it becomes a competitive issue or if the funding is put aside a certain amount, and you see states that are getting consistently hit with the tornadoes, hurricanes, and all of the catastrophic issues, when the one-time issue happens in Idaho, there may not be the funding we need that's passed through into Idaho. You know, I mean, so you could throw your drink at me or anything else, but I'm just talking to you because you're asking questions. And so again, amateur radio groups, the reason you guys are so incredibly important is number one, you don't charge us. One of the reasons I'm going to be blunt. Why do you think I have fought to got you the trailer and radios and antennas? It's because my way of being able to get some federal funding that I believe is absolutely critical for you to function. And so that's how we keep it where you're not charged.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, sir.
So, so we effectively work for Twin Falls County as Aries. We're under the umbrella for work comp and.
When, during an event.
During an event.
Day to day, you guys do so much. You
Right.
do the races, you do everything.
What about now? I assume there's a mutual aid agreement between, say, Jerome County, Gooding County.
No,
No?
because I have no idea where they're at with their program.
So you guys.
So what I'm
there's no
saying is
mutual aid?
that we can't, because there's been a long history, guys, with amateur radio. And we're trying to say, I'm trying to be very positive. So when you come to the fair and you guys are visible and you're doing things, or you're at the races, or you go to Jerome, or you participate with something there, I don't micromanage you. I don't even tell you what to do, and neither do my commissioners, actually. We do not tell you how you're gonna do anything. That agreement simply says that during a Twin Falls County event, we're asking those that have Twin Falls County IDs, that those that have had the background check, respond so that if your back is injured or something happens, you're under workman's comp. It's that simple.
And I'm not even talking about the workman's comp. I'm talking about, say, a deployment. You've got a major event happens in Jerome County where it's all hands on deck.
That's not
I,
us.
Oh, I get where he's going. So who would call you?
well,
Their commissioners.
okay,
Okay, there's the answer. Because see, right now, they don't have,
so you're not gonna be the one that says, "Hey, I have
absolutely
this-
not.
I
Oh,
have
no.
this available if you guys want it.
No, because I can't. I can't. And this is why, like, the individuals that are from Sun Valley or Jerome and stuff, you're part of this regional group. Aren't you regional or Magic Valley?
Yeah.
And the reality of it is you need to be, so you can train and do all the fun, all the great stuff you do. But this is one of the reasons I sent the letter to the county commissioners in Jerome. Was because this is what I want everyone to think about. How do you call them out? How do you call the amateur radio group to support your event? And how do you maintain some kind of a standard? Because you've got a resource sitting here that's incredible. But if you're not going to use it, sorry guys, I want to use you. But in the same token, you could do the same for any other county. So I can't,
Jackie Frey.
well, I don't know. I don't know.
So I understand that field day, thanks Bob for volunteering your place all the time, but the intent of that is to practice.
Right.
A very similar kind of thing, which is why there's a lot of emphasis on emergency power and picking all your stuff up and going someplace. Is there, and open to anybody, I guess, is there an activity that we could practice or exercise using the trailer? Maybe even coordinating with some.
We use the trailer quite a bit. They're coming in the spring. If I recall correctly, we'll be doing it for the races again, I suspect.
Yeah, the races will actually not be the spring this year, it'll be actually this fall.
Oh, okay.
Because
How about the air show?
the air show, probably not the air show, but
We did the last one.
oh yeah, but we haven't been asked to help out.
Well, let's ask. So we can.
Well, the way they talk when I go in there, they're expecting us. You better track that down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in charge of it and they haven't asked me. Talk to Jim O'Donnell.
Go talk to them.
I'm in charge of communication. I'm saying it one day.
We did
Well,
one.
I don't know, but the races, the reason why we're doing it in fall, because of the construction's still down.
Okay.
They're not gonna be ready in time, so they're moving the races until September. But yeah, but we'll still be having the trailer out at Field Day, we'll have it at all these other events. that we have,
Check
so
that.
they're-
You want me to check on that?
What's
If they
that?
want us?
No, I'm a part of the committee.
Okay, well, find
We'll
out what
find
they're
out.
going to do. We did the last air show we had. That was sort of fun.
Well, an air show doesn't really sound like an emergency though. The
Right, but
practice
it's
is-
exercise.
Well-
Yeah, but
So-
it's yeah.
Yeah, but so out of respect. You know, it only takes one of those stunt planes to go down. It only takes there to be a car accident. And there's gonna be a problem with inundation of getting the communication or getting even any of the first responders in. I personally will tell you that, I very regularly have large scale, or full scale exercises. We've had some new changes with what's required. And the other issue is time and money. It takes a huge amount of overtime backfill and a lot of time and expense to do these exercises. So we do a lot of tabletops and we do a lot of, what I was gonna say, a lot of workshops. We'll sit down and talk about, events. The thing with the air show, and I will say, years back when the Blue Angels first came, I have always participated in the planning committee. And it's changed how I have been able to participate in a sense. But we used you. And if any of you were still on that team, we set you up because we would put you down on each end of the tarmac. And it would be a great opportunity for you to be able to use your radios and communicate what was going on or if there was any kind of an issue. I have no idea where things are at. I do the hydration station, lost child booth, and the health department, and I are also doing the first aid. But what I want to tell you is the large scale events or those things that happen, what really technically ends up going on is the fact that everyone is pulled to do so much stuff right now that it's very hard to take a year to plan for something. Now, the fair, and I have to be honest, Jeremy's next to me at the fair, but in the same token, Jeremy, could there be a possibility that we have several centrally located people or individuals that might be helping support what's going on at the fair?
Sure.
I mean, one that might be at the sheriff's office and their rodeo that night or whatever, and that's not my place to address, but we could talk to Lydia and see if maybe there's something. I don't think it ever is that we don't want you. It's that things continually shift on how we're doing things. I had a meeting today. We now will have a brand new fire chief and a brand new police chief for Twin. Okay, and I have a brand new commissioner, so this is all again, you're re-educating, helping people understand the dynamics, so that's what I will say on that. So I don't know if I frustrated you or,
No,
So-
frustrating.
We do have, as of right now, at least I saw a copy for Jerome and Emily. Now, whether they are still using that as an act, as we have one, if they are still adopting that or using that, we did have one back from 2018.
and that was with the commissioners,
That was
wasn't
the
it?
commissioner.
But see, you've got a different commissioner, yeah.
So,
So maybe it's time to revisit, have our Aries guy
well,
revisit.
last one that did it, I think Terry was in it, but I think the big talker was Kelly and I don't know if Jenny was that talk or not.
What would Jerome?
With Jerome.
Yes.
But yes, well, we got a new Jackie over there. You know, and I haven't talked to her yet, but it sounds pretty promising, so.
She's very nice. She's new. I've been helping her with a number of things.
As opposed to the other.
Okay, so I've been helping her with a number of things. And you guys, I get it. I mean, you could have, look. I've been around the block. I've been with your group for a long time, thick or thin, good or bad, whatever. And it shouldn't matter because you guys, look, let this stuff go, move forward. If there's hard feelings in anywhere, you need to move forward. So because each of you are a resource.
Can we get a dialogue with the emergency services?
Oh, without a doubt.
Well,
Kurt?
why don't we get some dialogue going on among the people who are?
I don't think,
What-
I think Kirsten would be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's working on that, so.
Yeah, so
I was,
I gave him, he's got her information, yeah.
we're,
Let's just have a meeting up if you can. Yeah, I mean,
so we can talk to him and,
yeah, maybe we can work some mutual agreement out between.
And they have a copy of the agreement.
I mean, it's not hard to figure out what, it gets back to, it's politics. And we need to get by the politics and just offer Jerome County, with your blessing, our services if they need it.
Well, I've never not.
Yes, I
I
understand.
mean, and I will tell you, I did share our agreement with Charlie Howell and with the commissioners.
Right.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, I'm not telling you anything I haven't done.
Mhm.
I understand their three commissioners are very supportive of you.
Good.
I mean, I will be honest, that's all I've been told. And they have a new coordinator, and if the coordinator is who they'd like to see in place to notify, and that really answers another question. So how it's set up in the county is that if there's something large that goes on, your point of contact is me.
Right.
If I'm ran over by a truck, it will be the sheriff's department.
Okay. Mhm.
It's that simple.
You will let us know if you get run over.
I'm sure. Any other questions? You guys, thank you for letting me come and, share a meal and visit with you. Jeremy?
I'd like to say one thing. Over the years, I watched that trailer go from mid-1970s, early 80s radio equipment to where it's at now.
Mhm.
And Jackie's been very gracious in
Yeah.
supplying us with funds. And we have now an emergency services trailer, communications trailer, that I would say is probably, I would be almost willing to bet it's the best in Idaho.
Well, I'm very proud to have done what I've done to get you where you're at,
We thank you very much.
because
Yeah.
you guys. I'm just excited. that
Speech.
28 more.
So is there anything, yes, sir. Oh, can I sit down for a minute?
Yeah.
In fact, just.
You sit down and rest of the meeting.
What?
So a quick question on deployments.
Yeah.
Say we have a major, let's say an ice storm or a huge wind damage or something. And we've got a loss communication infrastructure. How is it that we're going to get notified by you?
Okay,
or-
so my first point of contact always was Terry Fletcher. Now it's Jeremy.
Okay,
And Jeremy has shared with me, he has, of course, the resources to turn, whatever you, sorry. I think you turn your thing on and then he starts calling you out.
okay,
I mean, I'm embarrassed, don't know the terms, but. And that's how you get it going, right?
It brings them that up.
And thank you. And then you guys are notified because I'm sharing with him what's going on. I'm working directly with the incident command to find out where we can stage you. So it's the best benefit to you. And then it'll be consistently relayed to the IC. If we open an emergency operations center, I have some big goals right now that I'm hoping and praying about for a regional EOC. So that it can be used by a number of things, trainings, whatever. It's not mine to talk about, but they do know how much I'm interested. I guess what I'm gonna say is that, we're always a work in progress. I don't have all the answers. But I'm certainly trying to continue the momentum that we continue to grow. We can't stay stagnant on this. That's why, look, you guys, I don't know what a good radio is. I don't know what a great radio is. Jeremy needed some antennas, Jeremy got them. What I'm gonna tell you is when you guys come to me with something and I can get it approved, I buy it. I have to be honest. You don't do anything. You don't do the paperwork. You don't do anything. I handle it all. And I prefer it that way because I have a little OCD deal going on here and I need to make sure the paperwork's right. I mean, I can admit, but you guys, that's why I've trusted you guys forever. I mean, I've known some incredible people. Kelly and Bobby were wonderful friends. I mean, there's been a lot of people that I've watched myself, Jim, where this has grown.
Yes.
And it's pretty darn special to see the dedication and commitment. But it's been really neat to see that you guys have been able to upkeep and continue to advance on the equipment you need. Yes, Jerry.
So, two things. For those who have ID cards that are expiring, 'cause this year will be the year, so pay attention. All you need to do is call HR.
There was supposed to be one point of contact for that, wasn't there, Jeremy?
Well, I believe it's just now, we just have to contact them to renew.
Okay.
If you haven't got it, then you let me know, I will then let everyone know, hey, they're coming in to do it. But they really want, just get a hold of them, to say, hey, this is Jim, my card's expired with the Racy's Aries group, I need to come in and get a new one. And then you'll sit.
We gotta take a picture again?
They'll take your picture, get you a whole new card, and you can start like that.
And they're not charging you, are they? No, because they did want to charge you. I thought for that. Another freebie.
But we're trying to work out a way where the expiration date, like if let's say you go get it tomorrow. And it's good for, we've said 3 years.
3 years.
It'll expire December 31. 3 years from now, so then that way, everything is gonna be will be at the end of the year.
Fiscal year.
So that way, I can send out an email, go, okay, it's the end of the year, you need a card, go get it. Instead of going, okay, I got the March people that need to go get one, I got an April one that need to go get it. I don't have to remind you, you just look at it and say, this is the year. Second, just kind of let you know, those that don't know, so in our trailer, we have a 991A, we have a Yaesu 400. We got a GMRS radio now in there, a CV in there, with all the antennas that go for all those appropriate things, and a scanner to listen to if we need to listen to public safety. And if there's any other radios that we need to get, then we'll look at what we can do. But
And I think your YASAR is the last thing I just did a few months ago,
yeah, the GMRS.
or whatever it's called.
So we're.
Well, we have a digital FM in there too, don't we?
Yeah, it's 400. Yeah, we've been 400, so that does the analog and digital. So yeah, for the most part, we're pretty set and we can have room to put more radios. So,
Well, we got the repeater too.
and yeah, we got the repeater. Don't forget that. I'd like another radio in there. What's
Yeah.
on this? And plus we have the UHF repeater, which could, if we decide to bring in the VHF, we could do that as well, but we haven't done that yet. Yeah. Only because we just don't have the room for the cans, but we'd have to do some.
Need a bigger trailer.
Need a motorhome. Need a Class A motorhome.
Not a new Durham,
Then you have to find the things.
There's a piece of equipment that I would think that any emergency equipment should have nowadays, and that's probably a Starlink. So that you can have connectivity out to the internet no matter where it's at.
And that's $120 a month.
Well, you can pause them and then activate them, and you can even activate them out in the field through the unit itself now. I think that should be, if it's a true emergency trailer, that should be something I think should be considered. I own one for camping and it's great.
We'll just use yours.
And I'm more than happy to make it available,
You know-
but having it mounted on the trailer, ready to go in a real emergency, I would.
Yeah,
think
that's
would
a
be
good idea.
Very good idea.
Of course, you could borrow yours back when you need
But
it.
I'm also thinking maybe we could get a hold of Starlink, maybe they have a grant program.
We could just call Elon.
Well,
I'll give him a call tomorrow, see what he says.
Our trailers
I'm
are,
having lunch with him.
our trailers hooked up for for internet, so all we had to do was plug it in and we're good to go, so when we rebuilt, we.
So, for example, like Hurricane Helene knocked out a whole bunch of stuff with all the rivers.
Exactly,
FEMA
from
was-
Starlink.
FEMA was nowhere to be seen, the emergency services. And so there were guys in their Jeeps running up and down and they had VHF radios, but if they found, Bobby up 3 miles in order to communicate back to the family, yeah, we're okay. VHF doesn't get that far, but if you could relay back to the trailer and say, hey, send a text or an email to my family, just let them know I'm okay. That would be potentially be useful.
Well, and that's what Elon Musk took in was Starlink for the North Carolina flooding
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
happened.
That's right.
He set up that whole thing.
You almost wonder if the company Starlink would donate for emergency vehicle like we are here, especially that we are volunteers. If they would.
Well, that's why I'm saying the grant.
Jeremy, I have a Starlink unit at my home that I can donate to the family.
Is it a portable one? Don't they have to be a certain model? The ones that.
Well, what is it, the round one or the rectangle or? the mini?
The rectangle.
So a Gen 3, that would be perfect.
But still, we have to hook up with them. That's the expense, right?
Not really, Starlink, I just got started a couple months ago.
We'd have to have an account.
You
We
make
have to
account,
have a
start
credit card on file to activate at time of need, but it doesn't cost anything until you turn it
Well,
But
over.
it's worth doing an investigation about it,
Yeah.
especially the fact that they might, because we are a nonprofit emergency outfit, just give us gratis and not have to pay anything, or
Mr.
maybe.
President, I suggest that RD look into that for you.
I'd be happy to.
I would be glad to take her.
I second that motion.
We'll get together and I can grab it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So just keep something in mind. And I know I'm not a part of your group, but you have some incredible industry in this community. And it's very interesting to see some of the things that they have done when we went and asked them to support first responders or to support events. Interestingly enough, you might be able to go and say, just like this Starlink, is this something you would consider doing for us for redundant communication issues? And have them give you a $500 pledge, and then you go to another one and say, would you do a $500 pledge? Which would pay that $120 a year. My point is, because I've seen this where you go to one and I've helped to build that money. And they've been able to get the funding they need that was directly for a project. Now, it's a bookkeeping issue and it's not a big deal, but there are ways for you to get that money after that subscription.
And we are a 501c3.
Yes, you are.
Can you give us the names of the folks that we might communicate?
But they're on there.
I,
No, I'm talking to, the Chobani Glambias,
yeah,
Lamb Weston, Amalgamated Sugar. A lot of times you can go to them and say, look, they're gonna give us 250, would you match that pledge? and this is what we're using it for. You guys, it does not hurt. You have to ask. You can problem solve all you want, but you have to take that first initiative. You have to.
I was on the fire department 15 years and we asked for a lot of stuff because we are a volunteer station.
That's right, Robert.
Yeah, and we got a lot of stuff. And like she's saying, you get that one guy to go, and then everybody else said, oh man, I gotta get my name on there too.
I'll give you 300.
Yeah, and it does snowball, it really does.
I appreciate Jackie coming. Can we give her a?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You know,
Whatever, retire.
I invite her every year and I think Jeremy did too before me, because I think we need to hear every year and kind of catch up on it.
Well, and you guys, I know you're in a hurry to leave, but you have several that have been coming each month to the LAPC meeting. It means a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you very much because you're visible. And the law enforcement, fire, and those are there, those agencies, and they need to see you. They need to hear and they need to visit with you.
I don't know what that is.
Local Emergency Planning Committee.
When and where is that?
I do that the second Tuesday of every month, tomorrow. And I have a guest speaker. I never quit, even through COVID, I never quit. So,
What time is it?
and it starts at 1:30 at County West in Conference Room B.
County West Hospital?
Yes,
Go in by the revolving door, take a right, and it's just on the left.
exactly. Anyone is welcome, you guys, in 1 hour. But you'd be shocked at the amount of information you get or the opportunity to technically network.
So it's 1 o'clock?
1:30 tomorrow.
And you feed us food?
No, I
for a
can't.
good
My
seat.
commissioners took my budget.
It's actually really enlightening, some of the speakers they have there. You find out there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
So I have a pipeline company tomorrow coming. This would be a perfect opportunity to bring up what's a possible threat in our county for this. And we're an amateur radio group and do you see us helping support communication? You guys, you gotta sell yourself. I try to sell yourself. But what I'm saying is my platform is pretty big and I'm over 8 cities. So I mean, I'm working right now with Hollister on something and I thought of you guys the other day and thought, oh my gosh, if we have something that is catastrophic at Hollister or at Hanson, or any of the small communities, the need for communication is absolutely priority.
We have a ham in Hollister.
See?
Yeah. So listen, if you are not involved in various races, would they contact you, Jeremy, to get the information? For somebody that's not a part of Aries, to get in contact with you?
You can go on there, you can go on the website, go to the Aries tab, everything's there, the email.
On our website?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a website.
Yeah.
It's radioactive.
Yeah, or if you have questions, just ask Jeremy too, or if Jackie is gonna stick around for a few minutes. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Again,
We close the meeting.
Matt's gonna be next month and he'll explain the thing that I don't understand, so.
We'll let him know.
Yeah,
Your name, Matt?
Actually, Matt Levy is into this.
oh, I'm sorry,
It's RD.
yeah.
RD.
I know that. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll see you. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, let's do the drawing, yeah.
Okay,
Jackie will draw.
I'm gonna ask Jackie to draw.
I know.
Jackie, would you pull the ticket out of this
I
one?
will. Lucky